I have finally moved into Joie, my Gillio A-Z Epoca Gold Medium binder. I'd like to go through how I have it set up. First, we'll go through the back pocket. It only has one thing on the back pocket, and it is a yearly calendar from my son's photo shoot this year at school, at preschool. I am actually trying to figure out a way to place it at the front. Unfortunately, I haven't, and unfortunately it's bigger than the binder, so if I were to cut holes in it, it would be very, very long, very, very wide. And I don't really want to cut holes in it, so for now it would stay at the back pocket. On this side, it is very handy for me, this pocket. I have decided to put my phone in here. It is my Galaxy Note and it fits quite well. It does make the whole organizer heavier. On the zipper here, I actually don't have anything on there. On here as well, I don't have anything on there either. As you can see, I don't have my pen in there. I will put it in there whenever I go out. However, since I'm doing this video, I've just taken it out. Here I have a magnetic paper clip. I'll put it there just for a spare. I have another one inside that I use. As you can see, I've got nothing in there and nothing on this one here either. So I'll have to make use of these ones. This is quite deep. It should fit a business card. That's what it was built for. My first fly leaf here is just a postcard of Corinthians 13 about love. And on the back I have the Franklin Covey 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And at the back are the quadrants of priorities. And here I have the plastic fly leaf, just for protection. And I haven't filled these in yet, so I should. My first tab is key information. So I have here information about me. Should fill in the medical record stuff as well. And this is a Gillio insert that I haven't even filled in yet, so I'd have to do that as well. Here is where I have my color coding as well. Pink is for work, green is for friends, and blue is for family. The planning calendar basically only has a yearly calendar in it. And then we go to the tabs. I use Franklin Covey again, month on 2 pages. I quite like it. I'm using the seasons design, although this is not seasons, this is her point of view. As you can tell, I actually had to trim my Franklin Covey inserts as they're a bit wider than the normal Gillio and also Filofax. Luckily enough, with Franklin Covey they do have borders around their papers, so when I had to cut it, I only needed to cut the border, and when I punched holes in it, it kind of does go through these ones, but very minimal, not too much. So on monthly calendars, what I have are birthdays and events that I wanted to keep track of. At the front is an index. I usually use this to write other important milestones during the month, so I have a reference for it, so when I take off the pages from behind that month, I still remember what happened to that month. And at the back is also a master task list. I don't use this as a task list. I actually use this as an expenses, so I can keep track of the major expenses for the month. Well, you can see that it's all empty, only because I haven't started using my planner until July, so all of these are quite empty. But I still like to keep them in the organizer because I would have people's birthdays and things on there. So come July, let's see what July did. Okay, this is my July. I've also started shading off days that have passed. So this one is shaded off in green because it's color coded in green. If you notice, actually these set from Franklin Covey are color coded. You've got December, January, February in one color, May, April, March in another color, and June, July, August is another color, and then September, October, November is another color. They actually correspond to the seasons in the Northern Hemisphere. Unfortunately, they're quite different from the seasons we have here in Australia. However, the month blocks are the same, so that's quite good. So instead of, let's say right now you guys are August. August is just, I suppose, the end of summer. For us here is actually winter. So it's the same blocks. June to August is our winter, and yours is June to August is your summer. So as you can see, I've filled out some dates on there, and that's my August Gillio. And this is where I start using Gillio. And then at the back, I just stuck these. These are actually, my son ate some fortune cookies sometime in August, and these are the 3 inside the fortune cookie. So then we go to the planner pages. I actually did stop using the Franklin Covey and moved over to Gillio. In the last couple of days, I've been transcribing all my notes from the Franklin Covey pages onto the Gillio pages, so it looks like it's quite full, which is great. So as you can see on the dates, this portion here for phone I actually use for expenses. I just write down the expenses I did for the day. Coming from a 2-day per page to 1 day per page, it's quite an adjustment for me. I'm so used to having one side just full of space just for notes, and on the other side is where this information is. But now I'd had to consolidate. This is the schedule, and these are a small space for notes, and another one here, and another one here. I just have to learn to, I guess if it's more substantial kind of notes, I'll just have to write it in its corresponding tabs instead of just writing it in here. This is my page finder actually. It's actually a plastic sleeve type thing that I got from Morning Glory. Stuck in my son's stuff in there. Some flags and some reinforcements and some stickers. I've actually also cut these edges here for each of the holes, so I can actually move it from one day to the next without having to open the rings. There we go. I also wanted to show you about my color coding. So let's say for example I've got things for me which is purple. So anything in these pages that are purple, they're designated to me. Anything that is standard green is for friends. So like that one is for friends if we went to a friend's birthday on the weekend. But a subset of friends is a light green. A light green is for my high school friends. I do get involved a lot with a lot of activities that we do, so I've designated a certain color for them as well. Standard blue is for family, and then you've got the lighter blue. The lighter blue is for my son specifically. And then we have pink. I've used pink for work, which I don't have a lot of in here, which is great. It means I don't bring stuff home from work, which I try not to. I try to leave work at work and home is home. So I was going to use red, but I thought red was a bit too much like a teacher, so I've decided to use pink. And then I also use orange. Orange is for anything that doesn't fall into all those categories, I suppose. And things like, let's say black, I've also used black. It'll be for things like, this one is my train ride to work. Now we go through my tabs. Now these, I've got 5 tabs, and these are all the her point of view tabs. I've kept them luckily enough. I quite like the artwork that came with it actually. And I've also got a transparent flyleaf. At work, we have a binding machine, and they use a lot of this transparent flyleaf for the cover, for the front, and I've just taken some and cut it down for my purposes. So the first tab is for my son, so anything to do with my son, that's his classmates at preschool, and then notes about parents and things, all go into tab 1. And then tab 2 is anything about me. As you can tell, it's purple. So anything about me, things like blog, my notes about myself. I have some prepaid SIMs, so I use the information record for those. So I would then have the mobile phone number, and then I would track the recharges that I do, so I know when to recharge and how long and things like that. Tab 3 is shopping. Anything that I want to buy, I suppose, is in here. So wish lists are here. I've just used one of these as well, another one of those magnetic things. Wish lists, notes on things that I want to buy, but also it has paper sizes that I want to keep track of. Some notes about my blogging on WordPress, which actually I should put in tab 2 instead of here. And then tab 4, we have family, designated in blue. This is anything to do with family, so these are notes about my newest nephew, Elias James, who was born on the 5th of August. And so anything that to do with family that I'll put in here. As you can see, it's still a bit empty. I still need to download a lot of my stuff from my head and put it into these pages. It's very early days for me. And then the 5th tab are projects. Currently I've got PSI 90, which is my high school batch, 1990. I get involved, as I said, with a lot of activities that we have going on. So a lot of projects that we do, fundraising that we do, and when we meet up, a lot of us are spread all over the world. So, and a few of us are here in Australia. We're actually planning to meet up in September in Hervey Bay in Queensland. So all the notes for those are also in there. And after that, I am using expenses. That was from Gillio as well. Also another flyleaf at the front. I like using flyleaves at the front, so it just protects the tab. These are actually day timer, I think. I'm thinking of cataloging, I guess, my expenses from, so I don't have to log on to the bank and see how much balance I've got and things. And let's see how we go with that one. Receipt containers in here. And then comes to the A to Z dividers. I know most people would probably use the A to Z dividers as just for contacts, but for me what I'm going to use it for is not just for contacts, which is the important contacts. Only important ones would need to, I'll transcribe into these, but also things like passwords, I'd file them away. So this is basically my information, A to Z information bit. So I'd have to start writing things down in here. And then at the back, as you can see, I was debating about where I was going to put the business cards, whether I was going to put it in these plastic or whether I was going to put it in here. Initially I put it in here, however, just realized that because of the leather being so soft, it might mark on here, and I don't want to do that. So I took it all out, because even the ones here is also leather underneath, so I don't want to have marked credit cards, so I'll just put it all in there. These are stickers from Dizzy. They're the ones, thank you so much Dizzy, they're the ones that you can put on and take off again. It's a spare SIM, it's really blank, nothing on it yet. Business cards in here, there's nothing in here, and I'm not going to put anything in here because that's where this slots in. So that, my dear friends, is how I've got my Cara currently set up. Thank you for watching.